with the essence of what life's supposed to be. It's the internal reality of what we see, and it's all within our reality. That's what life will be. So step on in and understand the thought that makes it be. Enjoy the beauty within your mind to set your soul free. For there is no entity within life as beautiful as you be. For this is what we look in life. It's the soul's reality. So open up and understand and take the time to see. Because there is no music within my life for me the opportunity to see. So once again, let me say, my friends, this is what life truthfully be. And this is a guest that's coming aboard to talk reality. Now we only met once within in the passing of what life be. We only met once within before he come to this reality. But the best part about it, if you understand, he gave me his love and respect for free. And that I would carry throughout my life. It is my eternity. So I should say, introduce yourself and let them know who you be.
I am Jameson Reeves from the west side of this great state, Los Angeles. Here visiting.
From the west side of Los Angeles.
Yeah, the west side of these states, all the way over in Los Angeles, California.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I spend my time. That's where I do my work. That's where I meet the people. That's where I live.
So you live in the belly of destitute with the smog that make life be. You live in the valley of parking lot that they call it an expressway. You live in a life where everybody seek and they all want to see. But most can't handle the true reality that's delivered to them for free. Oh, I enjoyed looking at Los Angeles from Encino, that is, you see.
Mm-hmm.
I only went down in Los Angeles when I had to, and I'm saying that seriously. Some of my best friends lived in Los Angeles. Chaka Khan,
Oh, yeah.
Donna,
Oh, yeah.
her church is her studio at that beat.
Yes.
Chaka has a school in L.A., but unfortunately, I don't see me.
Yeah, we lived in the neighborhood near Shaka Khan, the west off of Pico in the west side of Los Angeles. We would see her constantly, every once in a while, walking the streets.
Well, an excellent lady, but I just couldn't handle the fog of smoke. I
This,
loved it, and I love the people, and I love roller skating all around.
Venice Beach, yes, the good times up and down the coast. Yeah, the smog is, or the smog was really a problem, but they've seemed to have kind of cleared that up. So now it is a town where people are trying to find out who they are and what they want to be, and I'm happy to be a part of that, taking in those people so that they can see that they can truly be what they want to be, if that is what they want to be.
Well, then in that case, tell me, what do you see within the unity of making what you be to help other people see?
Well, I see that I have to stay on my path and let people see that if I'm true to who I am and I'm moving forward, then they can stay true to who they are and they move forward. I work in the entertainment industry, so that world is full of people wanting something and doing whatever it is to get that. And sometimes that's not the best thing in the world, and sometimes these people get taken advantage of. But I like to keep it real with the people that I meet.
Well, I was blessed, and I got to enjoy the entertainment business for 60 some years, you know. And I remember people that said to me, "Man, I wish I could play better," you know. And now they own one of the biggest clubs on the south side of Chicago, and everybody think he's one of the greatest guitar players in the world,
Hmm.
you know. But Buddy Guy,
Well, yeah, buddy guy, just saw him in the movie Sinners
you know,
playing the guitar.
yes, you know. But that's what the life I live,
Mm.
you know. And at that time, we ran. It was like a gentleman called Big Twist and the Metal Fellows,
Mm.
and then there was another group called Baby Huey and the Babysitters, which were hot groups, very very remarkable, very unifying,
Right.
you know. And so that is the essence of the business. But yes, in the business, they do want your soul.
They do, and you have to be able to protect your soul by, and the way that I've found that I've been able to
Do you think-
protect my soul
Music.
is that I have been able to surround myself with good people in the entertainment industry and that.
Whoa, stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
yeah.
You've been able to surround yourself.
Well, I've surrounded my love and energy around other people.
Other people.
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic people.
Yes.
Not good.
No. Fantastic people. Fantastic people.
Okay.
I have been able to be fantastic because of the fantastic people that I work with.
Okay, why did you pass them off as good? Were you being greedy and
I-
trying to keep the rest of the fantastic to yourself?
I-
Hey, I enjoyed the business too, but I give it back to everybody. That, hey, you know,
I was being greedy. I forgot.
I can understand.
Yeah.
You know, you know, you take that beauty for granted for what it truthfully be. Not only do they give you the knowledge, you give them the knowledge to be free.
True.
You know. So that is the essence of life, my man. And that is the entertainment business. I remember I was a booking agent.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, I did get on stage and perform the do, and I was fairly probable at it. Yeah, but I realized one thing when I was young. I'm on stage and I'm feeling sick. I got to perform because the show goes on.
Mm-hmm.
My manager's in the crowd with two ladies on his arm, and he's collecting the money and going to go see the next sort of 4 bands he's got booked for that night. So it's like I think I should be a manager.
You're right. Take control.
Well, it wouldn't take control, make more money.
So true.
Well,
So true.
You know, I could do more with, you know, like I took the band. We did the opening act with Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh, nice.
When Stevie was riding around in a UPS truck, going from gig to gig.
Right.
You know, matter of fact, that's when I fell in love with the gentleman because he was on stage performing,
Mm-hmm.
and a gentleman in the first row slapped his wife.
Wow.
Instantaneously, Stevie dropped his axe, jumped off the stage, went to the man and said, "Don't you ever hit a lady in front of me," and smacked him.
Wow. A gentleman.
And just then his friend jumped up, and I jumped down, and I said, "I got your back." You know, where actually I just threw my hand up, and the road crew.
The road crew came in and said, "We got your back."
Yeah, well, that's well, that's that's my back.
Yes.
It's the road crew.
Yes.
The ones that make everybody look
Yes.
fantastic.
They keep it moving. Keep it all moving. Yeah, it's like that for me. I've been blessed because of my greatness to be able to entertain through commercials that I've been in over the years and over the years and over the years. So it's been an amazing, amazing journey that I'm just happy to be a part of, happy to be leading.
Well, as then from the standpoint of being a part of, I would say truthfully what it be. You're the one to give the essence of what they get to see.
This is true. My essence created a quote character that the world was ready to see more of, and that became my ongoing persona.
So,
And it wasn't a persona, it was just me being
Right.
me and
So-
letting people experience me.
okay, so you're saying that you're paying homage to the people that made you who you are.
Yes.
And by paying homage, it's easier to watch over other people than it is to watch over yourself. So if you're watching over the people that made you who you are, you're always covered.
Yes.
Okay.
Do I agree with you? Yes, I do. Yes,
Well,
because
you
I
told
think
me that.
I told you that. I
I'm
think
just
that is
I'm
what.
just explaining what you told
How
me.
dare you turn my words against me? No, yeah, I do. I agree. I agree with that because the people that were above me were my parents who created me.
Oh,
Oh, no. I trained them on how to become parents,
touche.
which was all the lessons I needed so that my daughter could train me and be retrained with my wife as being parents.
Right.
So it's a never-ending cycle of everyone learning and everyone being guided or trained
It was a cycle that never began. There is no entertainment. It has no depth to it at all. It's just the universe,
yeah.
you know. The knowledge we thought was our thought was somebody else's thought who thought it was their thoughts was somebody else's thought who thought it was their thought.
So are we just the vessels that are taking thoughts and continuing the thought pattern?
Right. We just take thoughts of other people's thoughts and call them our own, and then all of a sudden, oh, we found something new. Gee, you discovered a planet with somebody already living on it. But you discovered it. What did they? Never mind. But you know what I'm saying
Yes.
within that time.
Yes. Yes.
You know, we just take what someone gives to us and rearrange it to honor us of who we are and give someone else the opportunity to look at that knowledge from a different angle, but it's the same knowledge.
True. And it's good. It's not good. It's great when you can take the knowledge that you have acquired and use it in a positive way.
Well,
Because
that's how you acquired it.
I did acquire, but some people do acquire things in a positive way and use them negatively.
Well, my brother, energy is energy.
Mm-hmm.
It has no value no what it be. Energy doesn't know if it's good or bad.
Right.
It's just energy.
Right.
Someone gives me a bad statement and make me what I be, I smile and thank them for it. And I do it seriously. Because I take that energy, turn it to positive energy, and it don't know no different with me.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Because I'm just going to be happy. You know? And if you're upset, I'm sorry. You know? And I've had people stand there and holler and scream at me. And I said, well, are you done?
No.
You know? And he said, am I done? Yeah. Are you done? What do you mean by blah, blah, blah,
Yep.
blah, blah, blah?
Yep.
I said, I'm sorry. You've been screaming at me for 45 minutes.
That
And I
seems
said-
like a Los Angeles road rage that you have to let them yell and scream and be angry, and you just smile and wave
No, it was a postmaster.
and move on.
It was a postmaster.
A postmaster
Yeah.
was screaming at you.
Huh?
Who was the postmaster?
You know, he's postmaster of Aurora Post Office.
Was just screaming at you.
Oh, yeah. I just let him scream. You know? And then when he got through screaming at me, and I asked him, are you done? He gave me another about minute more of retaliation for me asking him, are you done?
Right.
And then he said, I'm done. And he was doing this in front of all the people. And I just looked at him, I said, smiled, and I said, well, I said, I'm sorry. It's not my problem. He said, what? I said, it's not my problem. I said, that's the other black man's problem. I said, you ain't got but two of us. So you got the wrong one. So I said, go talk to him. And I said, and when you talk to him with a little more respect. Because I might have to pull him off you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, so you done got it out of your system and you said what you had to say, you feeling better? I said, now go talk to him and tell him what you need done.
Right.
You know? He just looked at me. And then he started to walk away, and I said, excuse me. I said, but you can do me a favor. Anytime you're upset, if you didn't get none last night, you know, and you got a problem, you can always come and holler and scream at me, and I'd be more than happy to stand there and help you.
Nice.
And he looked at me and left, and everybody on the floor was laughing
Of course.
because he did it on the floor. You just got to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing that out there that you need to worry about. And you know that in the business, except the contract.
Yep. The contract is always good.
You best have a great contract lawyer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Things written down in your favor, and at least let people look at it to see
What?
that it's
No,
in your favor.
Things written down the way you want it.
Right. Which would hopefully be in my favor.
No,
Because
ain't gonna be-
sometimes,
there's no hope.
yeah. I mean, it will be in my favor, but you do get things that are written down that you have to have readjusted so that it's in your favor.
Well, it's the point is that if you've gotten to that point with the beauty that you make you be, where they want to take and buy part of your reality, they know that you've gotten where you are. You're making money anyway. You know, you don't need that million and a half a show. You make $1 million a year, and you still got more dough.
Yeah.
You know, but once they control you, they control your family, and you know that.
Yep.
And then once they get you, then they use your family to threaten you. And once you get in, they got the best drug dealers in the world to supply you with everything that you need. And if you don't know what it is, we'll ship it to you so you do.
Yes.
And by the time you do, I control you.
Yep.
And that's how they control bands in the past tense of what life be. get them all hooked. And normally their manager is a drug dealer.
Oh yeah.
But, you know, I still play, I still enjoy. And I seen a young band the other day, and the oldest one is 25 years old.
Mm.
And the youngest one was 19. Hot, very hot, very clean, very smooth.
Nice.
And look like I may end up going back to singing.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Because of this band, or
Yes.
for this band?
Well, for this band and write music for them too. You know, I said, yeah, maybe one more time around,
Mm-hmm.
but back to singing,
Right.
and then use the hey, you know, yeah. It's been a long time, but how you doing? Are you still working with the vineyard?
Hmm.
You know,
Right.
and this is a possibility. Could you put me in the vineyard? You
And then a whole new era begins.
know, right? You know, oh, remember when I used to babysit the kids?
Now I'm out playing with the kids.
You know, yes, yeah, but I seen a young. He was 17-year-old, and he was a trumpet player.
Mm-hmm.
Man was magnificent.
Nice.
Still in school. He was from UI, and so he was so great. I had to rent a hall for him to play in. So I rented the hall. Then I called in some older friends of mine who did the music business
Yeah.
and really played the music business.
Yes.
You know, got blackballed, but still can play.
Yeah.
You know, hadn't come down to play with the kid, and they came in. He made them sound fantastic.
Oh.
But the best part about it was his parents, his brothers, his sister, his cousin, and grandmother could come and watch him play, which they had never been able to do,
Oh. Full circle.
you know, on a big stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's everyone being able to enjoy that moment.
Yes. And then the next year he moved to New Orleans for school. So I called a friend down in New Orleans,
Mm-hmm.
told him he's coming down, watch over him while he's going to school. And if he likes to play, you know, he's great enough to play with you.
Nice.
Because he's a horn player.
Nice.
So he said, you'll watch over. But
Yeah.
that's what life is.
Yeah. It's connections, it's meeting, it's an energy flowing to another similar energy that connects more energies that push things forward, is what I have realized. When I come up against an energy that's on a different wavelength than mine, it always seems to be a little difficult.
Well, my brother, every energy is on a different wavelength than you are. You know, the point is that their wavelength is not your problem.
It's not my problem, but for me to push my wavelength forward, their wavelength has to either sync with mine so that we are jiving, or I have to move off into another wavelength that is actually
Well,
jiving.
You know, I always say, okay, I got one song I got to bring out,
Mm-hmm.
and it's called Don't Cry for Me Unless They're Tears of Joy,
Yes.
because there is no misery. Don't cry for me unless they're tears of joy from the beauty I've gotten to see. Although they're gone and may never return, the beauty will always be. Don't cry for me unless they're tears of joy, because there is no misery. And if you're going to cry tears of sorrow, cry for the ones that didn't get to see all the love, all the respect, and all the beauty that was given to my eternity. Don't cry for me unless they're tears of joy, because there is no misery. It's only knowledge to set my soul free, to show me where I'm at, what I need to be, and what I need to see. Don't cry for me. When someone give me the negativity, I love them dearly because they sold themselves cheap. They already let me know where they stand and who they are. So hey, why should I be mad at them?
Yeah.
You know, I know exactly who you are, how you are, and I can go ahead on and do what I gotta do.
Yep. Keep it moving.
Well, my brother, if you don't, they're gonna steal your life
Oh, yeah.
and make you question who you be. Because they're scared of your reality. That's why they want you to be good. Oh, that's a different story.
Yo, I can't be good anymore. I got to be great.
Well, my brother, see, I was raised in a time within time to make it be. They used to tell me I was a good old boy.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at him and said, I'm a fantastic man. And they looked at me and raised their hand to hit me. Now, this is in Louisiana. They raised their hand to hit me because I said, I'm a fantastic man. I'm not your boy. And when they raised their hand to hit me, I look at them and I just said, I'm one of Mr. Wickerson nigga. Don't you touch me.
Ah.
And the person would step away. I don't care if it's the police. They would step away and leave you be. Because he was on the biggest plantation. And my grandmama controlled the big house. She ran the big house. So I had this little pride and joy, you know. And then they'll call him, and then he'll have my grandmother tell me that I had to act right,
Right.
you know, and stop drinking out of the white water fountains, you know. And I ain't gonna tell you what I told him.
What did your grandmother tell you?
Well, my grandmother told me that Mr. Wilkinson said, you got to stop doing this, Charles. And you know you don't have to do nothing around here, and you can go any place around here. You can go in the big house. So you got to stop doing this. And I said, Grandma, when he stopped doing you, I will. When Mr. Wilkinson came up on me, I told him, when you stop doing my grandmama, I start backing up. He turned around, spun around, and walked away, but it didn't take no more than about 3 or 4 seconds before my grandma was in there. And she said, what did you say?
Yeah.
And I told her. And she said, Charles, don't do that no more. Yes, ma'am. But it was already given out.
Yeah.
And I was known as being mentally retarded.
Oh.
Yes, I was crazy.
Because you weren't acting the way they wanted you to act?
Yeah. Yeah, they used to tie my hand behind my back because I'm left-handed.
Mm.
And beat me because I'm left-handed. And my whole statement was, the only reason you beat me is because I'm the only one in here in the right mind. And they beat me more.
Of course. Of course they'd beat
But-
you more.
But it was a gentleman over by a Piggly store who liked me
Uh,
and told me, he said, the only reason that they tie your hands up and beat you is because you're the only one in your right mind. And after he told me that and explained it to me, you can't touch me.
yeah.
You couldn't touch me. You know, I'm in my right mind. You guys, that's why you're so messed up. I'm in my right mind.
I'm the one that knows. Yes. The right mind.
Yes. So, being lieutenant, I'm still lieutenant.
Really? They didn't
Yeah.
break you. No one broke you.
Nope. And they tried.
And I'm wondering why they wanted to stop the left-handedness.
Well, my brother, they want to stop creativity. Left-handers are creativities. You know, more left-handers are heavy artists.
Hmm.
More left-handers are heavy debaters. And being right-handed, they already program you to follow it by saying you're better than a left-hander.
Hmm.
So, and that way, when you get down in your alphabet, you know, it was IOU.
I own you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, isn't that the way it runs?
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z. Yes. They own you.
They program you with spells to make you put spells on yourself. And that is a spell to begin with, which means that you owe them all their life. Because when you used to be, you had to be about 14, 16, 18 before you got your Social Security number.
Oh, okay.
Now, when you're born, you get Social Security
Yeah,
number.
as soon as you're born, you got a number.
You know, and why was that?
Ownership?
Yes.
Control?
I owe you my Social Security number, and every penny that I make goes into the bank for future dates.
Right.
You'd be surprised how much money is in the bank under your name, Social Security number. And that is what life is about,
Right, right, right.
you know. So, music business is the most free business there is. It sets the soul free.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they try to control the artists,
Right.
because they are reaching to many of people, and they got to control them to control those people. You know, gangster rap didn't come out until they started rapping about progress,
Right.
improvement.
Can't have people thinking that way, so you got to
No.
change it up. Right, right, right.
And then somebody came along and said, well, I'll give you $2 million to talk about ladies like that.
Yeah, yeah. And
And
then,
for $2 million, only thing to look at is the money. And then before they know it, they're slaves.
owned by the industry.
Yes.
Continue doing what they want you to do, or you're done.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Or someone in your family goes.
Yeah, 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 yeah. There's a lot of that happening right now. We're all afraid of
You know?
bad things. Yeah.
Oh, my brother. I've studied that from years and years that be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm in Milwaukee
Yes.
from Illinois. And the reason I'm in Milwaukee from Illinois, a friend of mine came to me and said to me, CC, I turned down a contract to kill you.
What?
He said, but the money is so good, somebody's going to pick it up. You better go talk to the man. I went and talked to a gentleman, and the gentleman told me it's a political hit. It's not ours. He said, you're going to have to leave town and I can protect you. So I left Illinois. I'm in Milwaukee.
You left quickly. Quickly.
Well, yeah. I sent my family to Philadelphia,
Mm-hmm.
separated. And yeah, because it was more of these people were serious.
Right.
And because I had took them out.
Right. We don't want to get too deep into it, but how did you take them out?
Well, my brother, I put it to you this way. I was one of the first deputy sheriffs in Kane County, Illinois. And I went to state school for school and come back and I passed my class, walked in, they said the sheriff is in the office. I went into the office, he looked up, pointed to a chair. I sat down in the chair. He looked back down and for about 3 to 4 minutes, he didn't say nothing to me.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at papers. Then after about 4 minutes of sitting there, he looks up and he says to me, the first thing he says to me was, I'm only hiring you to fill my quota.
Oh.
That was his first statement.
Right.
And I looked at him and I said, do I get the same pay as everybody else? He said, yeah. I said, great.
Yeah.
I said, do I get one of those cute uniforms with that fancy hat? He looked at me and he said, yeah. I said, wow, great. I said, oh, do I get a badge and a gun? He looked up and he said, yeah. I said, wow, great. I said, can I shoot white people? He said, what? I said, I just want to fill my quota.
Yeah. Nice.
And he said, you know, we're going to get along great. And I said, no, we're not. You're a bigot, and I know more people than voted you in than your last election. And I said, I'll have them vote you out just because I asked them to.
Wow.
They will vote you out.
Nice.
And I said, so go look for another job.
And that was it.
Oh, yeah, I put him out.
Oh. And that was the
And
moment that became...
he ended up going to prison for 15 years.
Nice.
And one of his lead sergeant went to jail for about 15 years for making silencers for the El-Rukins. And he was getting paid $150,000 a year to let the drugs run through the county.
Is it Illinois?
Yeah. Oh, my brother.
South side of Chicago?
Huh?
South side of Chicago?
South side of Chicago?
Was it south side of Chicago or just Illinois? All over.
My brother, this was Aurora, Illinois.
Oh.
And a friend of mine controlled Illinois, Indiana, and Wisconsin.
Wow.
And that was the gentleman that put me in the business of music.
Nice. That's a good friend. That's a great friend.
No. Yeah. Well, I met him because I was on the dance floor dancing Tower of Powers on the stage. And I looked up, a guy pulled a gun out, went to put it to the back of his head. I did a spin, did a split, came up between them, pulled the gun down, and he shot me. Still carried the bullet.
Ooh.
But I didn't know that he controlled 3 states. And it was an assassination by the Al-Rukins. So he was happy.
Yeah.
And he offered me almost $1 million.
Wow.
And I asked him, would you give that to a white man? He said, no. I said, that shows you how much more bigger you are.
Right.
I don't want your money. The only reason I got shot because I tried to save you from getting killed. And I didn't know who the heck you were. Could care less.
Right.
I just wasn't going to live and watch someone die and not try to stop it. I'm just back from Vietnam. You know, that was my nature. I watch over my brothers, and I have lived with it for the rest of my life. I'll live with it. I didn't give my pledge to the country. I gave my pledge to the people.
Right.
And my pledge never ends because that's my word. And I spent my whole life working for the people. Even when I was a kid. Yeah. But they're the ones that make me who I am.
Mm-hmm. They struck that mold.
But you do the same thing with your entry.
Mm-hmm.
And then you show them exactly by who you are and how you represent yourself. And that is more important than the music. Because that's internal music.
Wow.
So how long are you going to be back in town?
I'll be here. We haven't decided when we're leaving. I was in town. My father-in-law was having a procedure on his heart, which he had, and came out of it amazingly. Numbers are great. He's doing well. He's doing great.
So he's heartfelt.
He's heartfelt. Yes, 100%. And now we just need to decide when we're going back to Los Angeles. Probably this weekend, maybe beginning of the week, but I have to get back into the beast. No, I need to get back to Los Angeles. I need to get back to work. I'll be going back to work when I get back.
Well, you know, in the business, if you ain't got stuff and staying on top of it, in 6 months, you fall behind.
Right.
You fall behind. Don't get 6 months behind.
No.
Because then you done lost quite a bit and trying to pick up the pieces.
Oh.
You ain't Marvin Gaye.
No. I'm not Marvin. I can sing like Marvin, but I'm not Marvin. No. Yeah, it is a constant. It's not even a battle. It's just what I love, and the creation of art, and the creation of scripts, and the creation of shows, and the creation of just goodness is what I love. And when I feel like I am dropping behind it, I can feel it leaving. So that's why I kind of stay on top of it, constantly creating, constantly bringing love and joy.
It can never leave.
Yeah.
You know, it's just you starting to take it for granted.
Right.
And putting other stuff before it. You know, I was in Encino at Rosina's Cafe, and Smokey Robinson, bass player, that's where he introduced me to Marvin Gaye.
Mm.
And we partied. And but one of the biggest things that was going through his mind was that how was he going to beat sexual healing?
Oh, can you beat
that was
sexual
killing
healing? Yeah.
That was really driving him up a wall.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked me, would I like to come and dance behind him, put together a show in Vegas, you know. And I looked at him, and I told him, I said, yeah, I'd be more than happy to. He said, can you do it on roller skates?
Ooh.
I said, yeah, because how much money you pay me,
Right.
you know. And he said, okay. And then I said, but I said, I want a 5-year contract. He said, what? I said, I want a 5-year contract. What are you talking about, a 5-year contract? I said, yeah, I want a 5-year contract. I said, because about the way you're doing your cocaine, I said, you're going to die. And you're going to die in a couple of weeks. So if I get a contract right now for 5 years, I can make money off you, you're dead.
Oh.
And he looked at me and told me, you are effing crazy.
Uh,
You know? And I said, it ain't my problem. But if you don't stop, you're dead.
right. You were of the right mind.
Huh?
You were of the right mind.
Well, 2 weeks later, his dad killed him.
Oh.
And Smokey's bass player came and told me. And what happened was, yeah, his dad flushed an ounce of coke down the toilet. And that's what ticked him off. Pistol whipped his dad. When he pistol whipped his dad for doing it, he put the gun down. His dad grabbed it and told him to get out of the house. It escalated. And that's why he was never charged.
Wow.
But people forget who they are in the business.
Mm-hmm.
But always remember, you always got a backup. And that's the one that made you who you be. And if you always rely and ask that one, then you understand truthfully who you be.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get an outside, inside interpretation of the deliberation that you want to see. And then you got 2 dimensions to bring into one to conclude the reality. But always remember the one that makes you who you be is the one that controls when you can't see. And people forget that.
Yep.
And they program you to forget it. But you know. But this is more so the other generation can understand the deliberation. So would you like to put in within the thoughts and make it be any unity for others to enjoy and see? Maybe to the young that want to try to be. If there's some knowledge you would tell them that could help set their soul free.
Knowledge from me.
Well,
I think yes.
okay.
To be and to just be true to who you are. Because you are great, as you have explained to me several times. And trusting in your own greatness. Because I see a lot of the youth needing to have likes and needing to get approval from people that don't matter, when the only one that truly matters is themselves.
Right.
And if they can just truly love themselves, that's all they need. Because the love that they give to themselves will spread. Other people will be infected by that love and would be a much, much better place.
Well, I have to say that as truthfully as can be, because you and your lady gave me the love and respect that brought you here what I see. And it was a passing within the passing of saying, how do you do today?
Mm.
And it ended up with the love and respect for our eternity. And see, people don't take the time within their mind to understand truthfully what it be. Every time someone passes you, they give you free energy, whether you want it or not, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Every tree that you pass give you energy.
Yep.
Because that's what it's supposed to be. You know, and that's why I say hello, how you doing to everybody that passes
Yeah.
me.
Yes. Yes.
You know, and that is the essence of the creativity.
And it's the spreading to someone who may not see it. Just the acknowledgement of their presence could turn their day
Yes.
into something beautiful.
Yes.
Change it completely.
Yes.
And that is also why I look at people in their eyes when I walk down the street and acknowledge them and take questions from people and help as much as I possibly can. Because I do feel we are changing things. Things are changing and we can change them.
Well, my brother, we're always going to change within the thoughts that make it be, because that's what keeps us alive in reality. Now, are we doing a repetition of what used to be? And truthfully, we are, and seriously as it be. Because when you talk about the history that they told you in school, and if you believe that trash, you really a fool. But that's his story, not mine that be. Because it's all about true reality. Now, what happened in the 1919s in the building so strong? I mean, stone big buildings that carried on. Who designed those buildings? In the 1800s, they were there to be. But, they destroyed a lot of them, so you didn't get a chance to see. But there's still a lot around. The knowledge that sets you free is to get rid of all the lies they call history,
Mm.
you know, and teach the young to question what they see. Because they're the one that change the reality that will be. But they need your guidance,
Yes.
you know, because you're the kid. They're the parent
Ah.
of the future reality. And you have to teach them what you already seen, because they're headed that direction in a different scene, but it's the same one that they always will be until they change the reality for someone else to see. And when you said about me, I always say it takes we to make me. We give me enough knowledge to stand on my feet to be me. But I'm still we, but now I'm walking. And every time I pass by water, I can look inside the water and I can see we is still with me as I walk continuously. They're my eternity. So yes, and people don't realize what life is really about. They never take it in consideration before coming to walk.
Mm.
And I told you it's yours. And you're the small y. Why? Because I'm the capital O-U-R. When you tell me it's yours, I'm the small y. Why? Because you're the capital O-U-R. It can never be yours without being ours. It's totally impossible to be. So don't ever get greedy with me,
Mm.
because it's just we. And don't ever worry about yours.
Because it's ours.
Because you couldn't have it without we, which is me.
Ugh.
It's a family, the yin and yang.
Why can't I just have it?
Huh?
Why can't I just have it?
Why can't you have it?
Yes.
Well, my
because
brother,
it's
you already
ours.
do.
I do.
Why do you just take it for granted and enjoy who you?
Yes.
Everything was given to you when you was born. All the knowledge from your ancestors come as one. And then while you were small and young as can be, you're crawling around enjoying the beauty that be. And then when you get around about 3, they say you can't be. And then they start taking away your history. They turn you against your family. They have to make it so. Otherwise, they can't control you because you got somebody watching your dope. So this is what it's all about, and this is how it be. But I have to say, you turn the tide and the beauty that make you who you be. And that's the essence that you give to the people that they get for free. But don't worry about it because they gave it to you from another reality. Otherwise, you couldn't see who they be if it wasn't already what you gave away for free. You gave it to somebody, they gave it to somebody, they gave it to me. And when you look at me, the only thing you see is yourself. And that's what you gave me for free through someone else's reality. It's a family.
Yep.
And it's all the possibility that they don't want you to see. And it's the essence of the inner soul that will set you free. You know,
Knowledge.
well,
So much knowledge.
my brother, the more knowledge I learn, the more I don't know. But you know the best part about it is, I'm still learning. Yep. You know?
Every day is a school day.
Oh, God.
Every
don't be
day.
greedy. Don't be greedy. Every day. I've had friends say, I'll see you tomorrow, and I haven't seen them again. Every nanosecond within a nanosecond to make a nanosecond be. And if you enjoy the nanosecond within a nanosecond, there's no other problems to see. Because you can never get misery within a nanosecond because that's the only way to be. So that you have to think about tomorrow and have all the misery. Set your soul free. It comes to you a nanosecond within a nanosecond. And you got, okay, about 3 seconds, 3 minutes and some seconds to say bye.
Bye.
So would you like to end up with the thoughts that be, they getting more thoughts of your realities and giving something they can check you out in L.A.? Say, hey, I got my business card. This is what it says.
Oh, this is my business card. Just turn your television on. You'll see me on some commercial from AARP jumping in a pool to selling a Chevy to everything.
Well, my brother, if you're doing a commercial, you know, tell them this if it's poke and bean, camel soup, you know, dial soap.
Dial.
You know,
soap.
extra protection. I don't know what we know. You know.
Just this face. Just the face of the
so
face.
You just want me to face it.
Yes, just face
Just
it. When
face,
you see it,
when you see the
you'll
face
know
within
it.
the face, you know the
And
face
it
is
is
doing the
it.
commercial.
Yes.
I know that face.
Don't turn away. Don't turn away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not Little John, okay? Okay. Okay. Well, you about ready to say goodbye to the people that make it be?
Yeah.
Give them the thought of your heart and soul to say their reality. You ain't got but a couple seconds.
Oh my goodness, how much time do I have? I have like 45 seconds. I just really truly want to say thank you for this experience, to be in your presence, which is our presence. But the love that was shared and the knowledge that I gained, even though I know I have knowledge and the time is ticking,
we're done.
It's amazing. You're great. I'm Jameson Reeves, and I hope I see you out there.
Well, my
Not
brother,
even hope. I know I'll see you out there.
all you got to do is look for yourself and look in the mirror to see.